understanding is very, very shallow.
Unless you're able to reflect, your understanding is very, very shallow.
That's what that Chan is about. Okay. And we bring this up for you because this is a Chinese technology, Chinese Chan, that the Chinese patriarchs, one of which, the last one that we know of, is Master Shenhua. The Chinese have this lineage of Chan patriarchs, meaning these have been certified to have accomplished Chan, meaning they're able to do thought cultivation, they're all able to do serene reflection. Okay, they mastered this. So Master Shenhua on the Wei Yang lineage, where we would learn from, was a patriarch, has been certified patriarch, and it's very rare. Many other Wei Yang Chan patriarchs were much lower than Master Shenhua, including the current one who is in hiding right now, the coward, is very low compared to Master Shenhua. That's why he's hiding. Okay, because if you start asking him questions about Chan, he won't be able to answer. Okay, so it's very rare to find a Chan patriarch like Master Shenhua, and so I want you to know that patriarchs also have different levels, high level to low levels. Okay, lucky for me, I learned from him that high level Chan patriarch, and our Wei Yang lineage is a lineage of very accomplished Chan teachers, and Master Shenhua is one of them. His predecessor, Master Xu, in my humble opinion, is not that good about Chan patriarch either. So it's very rare to find a good and competent, really advanced Chan patriarch. Okay, and so he's gone now. So it's not surprising that his successor was about same level as Xu was. All right, and so I want you to know that we want you to know this because you need to understand, have the big picture. When we do this Chan practice, is to do thought cultivation, meaning that there's no excuses, we make no excuses, that we need to help you, train you to have control over your thoughts.
To train you to have control over your thoughts.
And second one is that you will know peace, okay, in your life. And
to train you to have control over your thoughts, so that you can begin to know peace in your own life.
Or your wisdom will shine forth. Okay, and that's what we call American Chan, because number one's American because it's like the Americans. We deliver, we don't make excuses. Okay, and number two, that's American side. Chan is that it's based on
we deliver. We don't make excuses.
The Chinese technology on how we're not reinventing the wheel. It's just adapting it to fit the Western cultures. And it's a reminder that the Asians, they have this history of accomplished Chan teachers, but it's for the Chinese and the Asian cultures. It's not necessarily the best for Western cultures. Okay, so that's why we hybrids. The best Chan students are the hybrids. The ones who says, I may be Asian, I may be Chinese, but I'm not stuck on Chinese. Okay? I may, I, I may be an Asian in the West, living in the West, but but I'm not 100%. How do you say that? I'm not 100%. I'm not really authentic Caucasian, if you will. Okay, so this is hybrid, which is really, really popular nowadays. Don't go EV, don't go ICE, internal combustion engine. You go hybrid, which is much better for everyone. That's us. Okay, so any questions and comments? Yes, nine.
Hi, Master. So number 2, serene reflection. The reflection is like a contemplation?
Correct. Lu here is contemplation. And Jing is lack of movement. So you contemplate in the absence of movement. What is it referring to? It's two phases. Chan training, the Chan process, the meditation process has two phases. Okay, Hinayana people, they teach you first one. They're good at this, they're not that good at this. Okay, this is why they're real popular in their own countries, in Europe, because they help Europeans still control their thoughts, learn to control their thoughts. Okay, but they're no good at serene reflection. They're no good at contemplation. Okay, so the process is actually, so they break it into the Chinese definition here, breaks it into two components. Okay, and so your Chan practice consists of two different components. Number one is to control your thoughts. Number two is do contemplation in quietude. Okay, this thought cultivation here means that you're able to put your mind in a state where you have no thought arising. Okay, you can become single-minded. Okay, this not just Hinayana, not just the Buddhists, but also the non-Buddhist practitioners can reach this as well. Okay, although not as advanced as we are, but all meditation practices are basically the first part, where you reduce the number of thoughts. And the Buddhists, Hinayana practitioners, Tibetan practitioners can eventually get to zero. You go from
Oh, I can stop thinking. I'm not thinking now.
multiples, many thoughts, many noises, with your will in your head. That's all the thoughts. You have errant thoughts, okay? Because your five sense organs are constantly bombarding your mind with data, and therefore your mind is trained to process data, okay? Uncontrollably, and you're very proud of it. You go to her university, her classes, she teach you how to analyze geography using computer modeling, using AI, and all those things. And you're proud of it. So, oh my God, I learned so much today. This week, I'm even better, more adept at using AI and analyzing geography, okay? And that's what you learn to do, okay? And whereas in thought cultivation, you learn to bring all the thoughts down to zero.
In thought cultivation, we learn how to bring all the thoughts down to zero. In thought cultivation, we learn how to bring all thoughts down to zero. In thought cultivation, we learn how to bring all thoughts down to zero. In thought cultivation, we learn how to bring all thoughts down to zero. In thought cultivation, we learn how to bring all thoughts down to zero. In thought cultivation, we learn how to bring all thoughts down to zero. Whether you like it or not, that's what I said, and I mean it.
In other words, you develop the skills to not allow thoughts to arise.
You develop the skills to not allow thoughts to arise. In thought cultivation, we bring all thoughts down to zero. We develop the skill to not allow thoughts to arise.
Like your heartbeat.
But it
Okay?
can be
It
to
arises
varying
and it
degrees
dies,
of
arises and
advancement.
it dies. Thoughts the same thing. Arise and dies. Arise and die. Okay? And you know that the interval between two thoughts, okay, can be very, very, very short. Much faster than even you yourself are aware of. That's how your mind functions. So the Buddhists, only the Buddhist practitioners can be so refined to the point where they can see one thought arising, dying, and next thought arising, dying. And the Buddha says, the Buddha is the best at it. He says, in one blink of an eye, you generate about a lot of thoughts and more thoughts than you realize. Okay? In a blink of an eye, you can generate hundreds of thoughts, if you would. I won't bother you with the exact numbers. Okay, but that's how many, how fast we think. How that's why it's very difficult for ordinary people to control their thoughts unless they have the proper training.
It's very difficult for ordinary people to control their thoughts unless they have proper training. Glad that you're here, Mackenzie.
Okay, in fact, the Hinayana practitioners have some coarse form of control, but they don't have total control. Okay, so their cultivation has two aspects. Number one is you learn to still your mind, reduce the thoughts in your mind. Number two, and then you make it focus on one thought, and that's called reflection or called contemplation. I hope it helps. Okay? Meaning that all of us, when we train properly, are able to do this. It's not like only I can do it and you can't, because I'm better than you. You may be better than me right now, but eventually, with the training, I can surpass you. And that's life. Okay? No lead is ever insurmountable. Yes, DDT.
마스터, 들리세요? 네, 마스터 그 첫 번째 생각을 조절하는 것이 외부 경계를 공으로 만드는 것과 같은 걸 의미하는 건가요?
Well, I hate to be the one to say it, but gay people don't own the rainbow. That's a ridiculous idea. It's a nonsensical idea. So rainbows don't represent LGBTQ plus people. Period. Rainbows have nothing to do with being gay or gay pride at all.
Master, controlling the thoughts, is it same as making the outside world empty?
No. Yes, 5.
Master, it seems like on a good, a beneficial sitting, I notice that I have a certain amount of interval of time that passes between thoughts. I don't know how long, but it's an amount of time. But interestingly, I'd like to know how I do that, because I don't know how I do that.
Because you cross your legs. That's how you did it.
Absolutely. I do that.
Much easier when you cross your legs.
Yes.
So that's a skill. At your level, it's just
Well, just to be clear about this, the rainbow doesn't represent gay people or LGBTQIA+. LGBTQIA+ represent themselves with the rainbow, but the rainbow has nothing to do with being gay or whatever.
skill that you're able to see between two thoughts.
There are varying degrees of skill, of capacity to control thoughts, to bring thoughts down to zero, and to keep thoughts from arising. By culling the field of thinking, we can now choose how we want to feel. We can be free. We can be holding dominion over the field of our mind. Most people have no training, especially Americans. Americans have a big problem because Americans don't have the technique or the skills, the technology to bring thinking to zero and to keep thinking from arising. In China and in many countries around the world, especially Buddhism, this skill is highly, highly refined. To stop thinking, to bring thoughts down to zero, and to keep thoughts from arising.
See that there is a longer interval, and that's the natural progression of your skills. Right now, for ordinary people, it's like this is this. Okay, let's talk of it. Look at it like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, actually, it's a lot faster than that. Your heart cannot keep up with it. But boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom in your heart actually is from your thoughts, by the way. Okay. Anyway, it's form of thoughts. So anyway, so with your practice, because you've been practicing for years now, since you've been here since Lu Mountain Temple, that's why now when you have this one thought arising, you're able to stop the thoughts until the next one arises. As your skill continues to improve, it becomes longer and longer and longer until you have one.
Christy, let me be clear with you. You don't come into another's house and comment on their food and their cooking. You're here to learn, or you're here to just talk nonsense. It's up to you. Be respectful, be reverent, be serious being here. Sometimes I worry I can maybe set not a good example for how serious this situation is. how serious these teachings are, how serious we should work with this, to get benefit out of it. But I want people to be able to come back and remember that for sure.
Thoughts left. That's it. And that's number 2.
Yeah, I believe I can achieve that. What holds me back in this instant of nothingness between thoughts is eventually my mind will say, oh, I've gone a little while without a thought.
That's it.
And damned if I don't want to think that, but it just automatically pops up.
You know why?
No.
Because you ran out of blessings.
Ah.
The reason that we have so many thoughts is because we don't have enough blessings. It takes a lot of blessings to be able to be still, to be able to still your thought.
Basically, our egos are out of control. And there's not a good reason for our egos to be out of control. We haven't had much meaningful, deep experiences, training in meditation. We've done very little to help others. We've mostly just focused on ourselves, getting what we want and avoiding what we don't want. We have a very, very low skill level, especially as Americans, and yet our ideas about ourselves are breaking out of the rooftop of reality. So we kind of have to, this is also a place to like check your standard, because your standard is probably like way down in the toilet. And, my job here is to kind of help people lift up their standards. The technology for stopping thinking is not there in America. American people tend to believe that spirituality is about special colors and special sounds and Kundalini sex workshops in Bali and being a functioning alcoholic with a wind catcher in your room. So that's the tough truth. That's the tough truth about American spirituality. So here we're not talking about that. We're talking about how to stop thinking. And if you choose to be in here, you can be really reverent and you can be really sincere. And I'll do my best to meet you where you are. But it's very, very unlikely that any of the random people coming in will have much of a skill level concerned with stopping thinking. That's why people tend to act so crazy as they come in here.
You constantly think of it, think of it this way. I'll give you a very simple example for you to understand. If you're poor, like...
Equality is a big problem and a big confusion. A professional in a field is not someone that you're equal to, unless you're also a professional in that field. You're not equal to your teacher. You both eat, you both shit, you both piss, but in terms of what you're learning about and what you're talking about, there's no equality there. Equality is the same self problem as superiority and inferiority. If you believe that you're equal to someone else, in one hand, you're appropriating their existence, you're appropriating their reality. You're saying their experience is my experience. No, it's not. Your mind is your mind, my mind is my mind. You can't even share a stomach ache. You can't even share a fart with another person. So we are gifted, we are honored to meet and confront and have experiences with people who are more experienced than us. But we should not think that we're equal to them. It's just not realistic and it's not practical. Yeah, most people are not saying anything most of the time. Most people don't have anything meaningful to say at all. Their thoughts are so out of control that they are impulsively wanting to get something out. their frustration, their anger, their confusion, whatever it is. They just are pushing it out.
I'm constantly thinking I need to get money to eat. And I need money to pay for my toothpaste. After I eat, I need to brush my teeth. And after that, I need to worry about electricity bill this month. It's so hot now. Unbearably hot. You see, we have so many needs, so many desires. Okay? They are constantly disrupting us. Okay? Because we're poor. I mean, I'm poor. I don't know about you. I'm poor. That's why I have a lot of worries. I worry about food. I worry about electricity. I worry about people liking me. I worry about donation boxes. Hint, hint.
We also have a donation box. Hint, hint. I am also poor. I also worry about my housing, what I will eat, where I will stay, taking care of my expenses. So we do have a donation box here as well.
Okay? Whereas you go to the Korean temple, they're so rich. Do they have to worry about electricity bill? No, they don't. Do they have to worry about food? No, they don't. See the difference? Difference is that when you're poor, you have a lot of worries. When you're rich, you have fewer worries. Okay? Same thing. When you have enough blessings, that's being rich here, then you have fewer worries. When you use up these blessings, you become poor, that's when the thought arises. When you're rich, oh, I'm so happy, let's buy another Lexus for Christmas.
There's no need for you to talk here. This is a place for listening. This is a place to learn. Well, let's say $500. Sounds good to me.
You don't? I wish I could. Okay? But when you have no money, then you say, oh, I better go to work. I better save on water. Let's not waste water. Okay? It's because you're poor. That's why you worry about these mundane things. The billionaires, they spend a few $1,000,000 for Christmas. Buy a couple of Lexuses here and there. Christmas decoration costs them a few $100,000. Okay, stuff like that. It takes money to make them happy. Okay, whereas we worry about petty things, it's because we lack blessings. We lack money. Okay.
Okay, are we listening closely? Are we hearing what's being said here about being wealthy and being poor, about having blessings and not? The reason we think so much, the reason we're lost and trapped in thinking, in our anger, in our greed, and in our delusion, is because we don't have many blessings. We're not wealthy in blessings. We're not wealthy in the good side effects from the good deeds that we've done. So this practice of Chan, or the training here, is learning how to bring thoughts down to zero and to keep thoughts from arising. And then to contemplate, or to serenely reflect upon not thinking, or to serenely reflect upon experiencing itself, reality itself. to keep thoughts from arising, that is purifying the field of awareness. People in the modern world, people in modern America, are mentally ill and confused and angry and greedy and electing Donald Trump and Joe Biden as their president because they have lost the ability, they do not have the technology and the skill set to sow blessings, to make blessings.
And that's the difference. When you run out of blessings, the thoughts will arise.
Good job, Tom.
So don't
Huh.
blame others. It's because you lack blessings. Create more blessings. That's how you'll be able to stay still. Okay? Any other questions?
My cool. You're sucking the joy out of this room with your ego. Now get out of here and stop bullshitting before I put my foot up your ass.
Yes, 7.
Master, can you talk a little bit more about contemplation? Is that just observing the thought without trying to control it?
Very good. Good question. What's contemplation? It's something that's poorly understood, especially by the people who teach Chan meditation.
I would scream, I would give you a yell, a moo yell, Shane, but it's not the right timing. But we have a lot of yelling on this channel.
Okay, it bothered me for many, many years because I could not understand what contemplation is, and even the people who are skilled.
Yeah, River, that's fine. But in the meantime, until that's possible, you can support just through making donations so I'm able to take care of my life and keep teaching in the way that I am. It will take time. If you have job, if you have good financial situation, then you can try to offer a monthly donation and support. That means a lot because that allows me to navigate my own life and focus more on teaching and not to worry about money. Yeah, Power Metal. Can you talk a little bit about what the experience of that is like? Also, you're welcome here. You're welcome to be here and listen. All we have to do now is move that decibel 2 places over, and I won't have to worry anymore. But thank you, Tom. You're a champ. So what is contemplation? What is contemplating?
In Chan, they cannot explain to me what is contemplation. Okay, contemplation is explained in the Buddhist sutras, Buddhist teachings, is to place your mind at one place. Okay, 去心一处. That's in the one of the sutras, the 遗教经. Okay, where the Buddha says, if you put your mind in one place, you park your mind in one place, it's nothing that you cannot not do.
So park your mind in one place. Yeah, you sound pretty stupid, right? Power Metal Quest? Is that what it feels like? Does it feel like you're pretty stupid? Does it feel like something's wrong with you? Do you believe that something's wrong with you? Do you believe that something is wrong with you? And anyone in here can answer that question as well. Do you believe that there is something wrong with you? Let me let you in on a little secret. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not the person that you think that you are. The person that you think that you are is just a thought. Just like any thought. Just like potatoes are made of rainbows. Or black people are good. Or blue people are bad. So what is the answer? What is the solution to the problem of thinking about things? Stop thinking and start contemplating. We have to learn how to start. That's pretty cool, Drifter. That's very appreciated, brother or sister, whoever you are. That's very cool. Yeah. So, power metal. Firstly, you have to stop thinking. And if you can't stop thinking, then you need to start contemplating. What did the master just say here? The master just said to contemplate is to focus on one thing. Now you can focus on one thing, can't you? You know how to focus on one thing, but it's difficult. Join the club. That's not unique to you. So you have to become willing to listen more and to stop more and to endure the difficulty of listening and stopping. You got that? Maybe write it down, because I can't repeat it. This will fix the problem. It's not a big problem. Your problem is not a big problem. But when we don't know how to bring thoughts down to zero, thoughts have dominion over our lives. The thoughts are out of control, like tentacles and weeds, etc., etc. So we have to cull thinking. We have to bring thoughts down to zero. And to keep thoughts from arising. How do we do that? Contemplate. No. Power metal. We have 3 rules here. Anyone here know what the 3 rules are? It's okay. Let the ghosts be here. They also supporting, so it feels fragrant with attention and fragrant with energy. Drifter has barely ever talked, and they just donated $100. So we don't know who's here. That's why it's so important to just stay open. The 3 rules of being here. It's definitely not River Cloud. It's definitely not what River Cloud says. It's definitely not peace, love, and forgiveness. It's don't be in a hurry. Don't fixate on trying to understand what's being said. Just listen. And stop believing in your thoughts. Just for this period of time. Just for this period of time, during this talk, during this session. Don't think, don't know. Stop perpetuating the game of the thoughts that you're used to, because we don't just identify with good thoughts and not identify with bad thoughts. We identify with good and bad thoughts. Then we perpetuate thinking. So don't think, don't know, just listen, or just be, or just contemplate. The problem that you have, this is the technology to deal with that problem. This technology can deal with mental health issues, no problem. But you have to have the willingness to give, seriously. It's not going to be enough for you to be willing to give $5. That's not going to be enough. It's an inconvenient truth. You have to be ready and dare to give a lot. To give more than you dare to give. That's the only way. First, you can start by giving what you can give. Then you have to give more than what you can give. Doesn't mean you jump into a pot of boiling water, but it means that you give more than you dare to give. You listen more than you dare to listen. You contemplate or focus on one point more than you dare to focus on one point. Yes. But you cannot look at it in that way. You cannot make it, okay, I'm either going to sacrifice my life and crucify myself on the cross, or I'm going to be a drug addict, alcoholic, and not going to take my practice seriously. You have to work in the middle. Yes, giving up pleasure. Yes, Jaden, giving up pleasurable things like giving up drinking alcohol, giving up lying, giving up killing, giving up taking what's not offered. You need to reach equilibrium and then give away what you're attached to in equilibrium. That's how you go farther. You have to abandon the idea of equilibrium in the same way that you abandon the idea of something that can't be endured, something that you can't deal with. SEK. Where is SEK from? Anybody know? Another 100 donation. We're on our way. To where? To nowhere. And I thank everyone for your support. It really does touch my heart and inspire me. Seeing the red and the yellow and seeing people really make donations from their heart. sizable, substantial donations. It really, really means a lot. So power, metal, quest, you have to be very patient. And you have to cut. You have to cut thinking. You have to step in front of the thinking. You have to step out of the thinking. You have to step to the side of the thinking. You have to step out from you thinking. And then you look back and say, wait a minute, I was thinking, now I'm not anymore. And then you have to let go from that and stop going back to your thinking. The practice here that you have to do if you want to make use of my experience, etc., you have to detach from your own understanding. Step by step, Jaden. You have to detach from your own understanding to receive what's being shared here. If you are holding on to your own understanding, you are limited. You will learn very, very slowly. And you will be learning so slowly that you'll say, this stuff doesn't work anyway. Thinking is like being moved around and carried around and jumping from thought to thought. Contemplation is not controlled by thought. Contemplation is controlled by intention and attention. Not thinking. Relatively, generalistically, not thinking. There's levels to it. We move up in levels, but for most of us, we don't necessarily want to be a monk or to get to this super high level of realization. For most of us. That's not our interest. So we just build up, we go a little bit further on the path, and our lives will be healthy and wealthy, and we can build community, we can build relationships based on this science, this technology, these teachings. So as much as our lives are ego-driven, that we like this and we don't like that, we can also contemplate and call thinking. So we can reach a space that is egoless. And that's where we can meet together and support each other through making donations, through sharing Dhamma, through collaborating, cooperating, offering protection, helping each other in all kinds of different ways. Power Metal Quest, you need electroshock therapy, my friend. You need to be strapped in and shocked.
Meaning what? First of all, 处心一处, that's Chinese. 处 is 结, tâm, nhất, xứ. I don't know what's Korean. Okay. So, hey, wake up. Look at her, she's sleeping.
Wake up.
What happened, you know? These, they have no need, so they fall asleep. Okay. Two is to place. Okay. Two here, two seen. You.
This is to be awake and aware and to have no needs. You should be scared. This is a scary dude. Okay? Just like a dream is not what it seems to be, life is not what it seems to be.
You place your mind in one place, okay? Meaning that you control your mind and...
For example, to control your mind, to place your attention on seeing. Don't be thinking about things. And what's going to be my next comment? Focus your mind, focus your attention on seeing, or focus your attention on the feeling, the experience of the breathing. This is a context of wisdom. This is a context of the technology of ending thoughts or bringing thoughts to zero and preventing thoughts from arising. Is that not clear? This is the context of the technology to keep thoughts from arising and to bring thoughts that have arisen to zero.
Restricted to one place. Very much like detention centers nowadays.
Now, what that one guy, Raf, here is saying is a good point. It's a good perspective. It's a good understanding. But to be able to make use of that understanding or to appreciate that understanding, you have to have access to concentration. To have access to concentration, you have to be willing to give up that which is distracting you, all of your attachments, or your tendency to attach, your tendency to cling, your tendency to hold on and then to be in a state of reactivity. So in gaining access to concentration, our minds are pointed, our minds are focused, our minds are direct. Thoughts arise, but we know how to not believe in, not fixate on those thoughts, not follow those thoughts. The mind is focused and directed. The thought comes up and distracts us and gets us involved with it, and then we decouple, we cull that thought, and we return back to our direct attention, such as our breathing and our direct experiencing. Now, this is the way of sowing blessings. Not just listening to someone speak or someone giving a talk, a teaching like this, but to listen to the rain. The technology for culling thoughts and ending thoughts is so weak and basically non-existent in America that listening to the rain becomes inaccessible to us. We're too focused on giving our next comment. For me as a teacher here, I know that this can seem like we are jumping around a lot, right? A lot of things going on, right? A lot of things going on, a lot of different ways of expression from me, from the teacher, from Mr. Monk Life Meditation, from Robert. But that is the position that I'm in. So please don't make me the bad guy. Don't make me be a bad teacher. Take this, eat it, digest it, put it into practice, use it, and come back and let me know what's going on. Doesn't mean that you necessarily need to write me a letter or give me a call, but I can get a sense of where you're at and what's going on just from the way that you comment. So make use of this. I am teaching and practicing and learning myself to raise up my level, to raise up my technology, the technology of culling thoughts and the technology of serene reflection or abiding in serenity. So this is also a chance for you to begin raising up your level of consciousness, raising up your authority over your own mind. And that is going to have a direct impact over your life and your relationships in a very vibrant and alive way, in a very realistic way. So let's make it happen. Let's keep doing it. Let's be serious about this.
People and put in detention there. I mean, they place in one place there, they cannot get out.
Stop making excuses, Power Metal Quest. Stop making any and all excuses. You need to be electrocuted. You need a electric shock therapy experience. You need to be in the sauna. You need to be in Myanmar. You need to suffer, man. You need to experience more suffering. You've been too sheltered. You've been too much boxified. Your mind has become, has filled up the parameters of this box that it's been put into, of you being autistic and you being ADHD. You're none of those things. You don't know the first thing of who or what you are, and those doctors and the people around you don't either. You need intensive treatment, Power Metal Quest. So if you shut up and listen, you can get it here.
That's tough.
It's tough. But because you can't shut up and listen, you need to be kind of transplanted to Myanmar. You need to be put into the main Tabarwa Center in Myanmar, where there are thousands of people sweating and dying and sick and old age. And you need to eat food that gives you food poisoning and go through this process of total suffering where nobody says, oh, okay, let me give you something special. There's nothing special there. There's no medicine to put on the wound. It's just suffering. All of these thoughts that you have about other people are just bullshit, just nonsense. Add onto your list that you have schizophrenia. Add onto your list that you're schizophrenic. What I'm saying to you, my friend, is that you are totally lost in the sauce. You are totally lost in attaching to thoughts. Thoughts are the bad news bears. You have to begin to stop believing in your thoughts. You have to practice to experience that your thoughts are not believable. It's not about if they're good thoughts or bad thoughts. Your thoughts are not believable. Drugs are bad, okay?
Okay, but that's what happened in your mind. You learn, you develop skills to not allow your mind to wander.
Do not allow your mind to
Okay.
wander.
Ichu is one place, one location. So right there. Okay, and that's what contemplation is. Contemplation is a skill to have one thought only and not allow another thought to arise.
Yeah, so the best way to do that, or one of the good ways to do that, is to confess. You can confess your disconnected, ruminating thoughts to your teacher, to someone who has the wisdom and compassion to cut. You can also go for a walk, go for a run, focus on your breathing. There's a lot of things that you can do. But you have to be willing to detach, willing to abandon, willing to renounce. Willing to self-sacrifice, willing to, you basically, you have to develop some experience. Yeah, listening. You have to develop some experience with giving away what you are attached to, intentionally and willingly. River Cloud, you have an outstanding bill, so no questions can be answered. No. What works for some doesn't work for you. What works for you doesn't work for some. There's many, many different techniques. To do what? To call thoughts. to end thinking, to bring thoughts down to zero. Can you, as much as you can from your own understanding, bring thoughts down to zero? Apparently, right? Apparently you can do that. So practice to bring thoughts down to zero and to keep thoughts from arising. When a thought arises, cut it. When a thought doesn't arise, maintain it. It's just that people are more or less stupid. People are more or less intelligent. People are more or less skillful, actually, in life. That's why the idea of equalness is just nonsense. It's very, very confusing for people's egos to think that they're equal to another. A black man is not equal to a white man. A woman is not equal to a man. A billionaire or a millionaire is not equal to poor old me or poor old you. It's a wrong understanding. Now, people who can't hear what's being said, to bring thoughts down to zero and to keep thoughts from arising, people who can't hear that think this is about something else. Okay, do I need to repeat that again? I've heard it's not really good to repeat things like that, but it's a good idea because new people are coming in. People who don't understand to bring thoughts down to zero and to keep thoughts from arising do not know what's going on here. Stay with not knowing what's going on here. Stay with not knowing what's going on here and listening. Do not wait until everything is going wrong in your life to practice this seriously. People are reacting because their egos and their thoughts are freaking out, because they hear the message. It's very clear, it's very simple, it's very direct. Stop thinking, Power Metal Quest. Stop thinking. Do not think if you're here. If you think and you're here, you're going to get in big trouble. Bring thoughts down to zero. Allow awareness to pervade everywhere. Just listen. I know power metal. I know that very much. Same for me. Sometimes it's difficult to stop thinking. But that's what this is about, facing difficulty, experiencing difficulty, and not complaining about it. So you are here to learn to stop complaining. You're here to learn how to stop complaining.
Okay, it's a skill that prevents you from, the important skill is to not allow another thought to arise and focus on one thought only. That's what contemplation is. There's no magic behind it. It's just a skill that you, this is how it works. You contemplate by saying, if you contemplate about let's say you have a problem, you have this problem at work that you don't know how to solve this problem, okay? And let's say you need to do some, you do some design work and you don't know how to calculate, do some the proper calculations, okay? So you, what you do at work is that you develop this ability to, since you have Chan abilities, you sit down and you said, okay, how do I do this calculation? Okay, yeah, that's for engineering. Let's say you are an artist and you say, I want to create a new statue. It's abstract, okay? And you define, give it the definition, the parameter.
I'm not sure why that happened, friends. Are we back? So let's calm down a little bit. So we have a lot of confused people who come in here. A lot of very confused people. And this is not easy business. It's not easy to work with other people. It's a lot less easy than people think that it is. And we don't think that it's that easy to begin with as Americans, because we have basically no experience at all of living in community or working with other people if they're not paying us to do that. And I can tell you, I have a lot of experience living in community, and it can be very difficult. My role here is primarily as a teacher, as a meditation master. So that's my burden. That's the burden that I have to carry in front of the screen here. What's being taught here is for you to learn how to stop thinking. That is the basis of what is being talked here. Everything else is just something added fluff about being human beings, about being in relationship with each other, about our needs, your needs, my needs, so that we can support each other as human beings. But this is fundamentally about culling thoughts, stopping thoughts, no more thinking. To be able to say to your own mind, no more thinking, period. As well as this serene reflection, to reflect upon serenity, to reflect upon awareness. And as Master Yonghua was talking about, kind of alluding to, there's nothing vague about this. There's no vagueness here. Sometimes we get other people in the chat kind of sharing their opinion or almost putting themselves in the position of a co-teacher. If you're really here, if you're seriously here to practice and to learn, just shut up and listen. Shut up and listen and donate and give and practice. Practice seriously. Practice like your head is on fire. That's how we sow the blessings. That's how we get the merits. That's how we get the good effects from this practice, and how we slowly develop our skills. Some people complain. They complain that I talk about donations, but this is offered freely. What am I going to eat? Where am I going to live? How am I going to pay for my basic needs as a meditation teacher? Do I have to set up some kind of payment plan? You know, some kind of course, some kind of structure for people to pay for it? I don't care if they would or they wouldn't. This is the way that is most appropriate to do. Now, I understand that most people are not used to making donations. They're used to paying for something. And if this is free, if this is offered freely, it must just be something that I do to get my kicks and my jollies off. It's basically worthless. So if that's your perspective, if that's how you're working with this, it's better that you don't waste your time. This is unscheduled. This is unformatted. This is unprepared. This is as it is. That's the teaching here. What preparations need to be made to bring thinking to zero? What preparations need to be made to reflect on serenity or to reflect upon awareness? there's nothing for you to think about. There's nothing for you to have an opinion on. There's no position for you to have here other than a student, a fellow practitioner, a donor. What, are you my boyfriend? Or you want to be my girlfriend? You want to come pat me on the butt and tell me I'm doing a good job? These are your options to be here seriously. And I'll give some wiggle room for a spiritual friend, but I really shouldn't, because look at me. I'm on my wit's end. I'm at the end of my rope. 7 years as a monk, I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I don't have a job, I don't have a stable income. This is all that I do. And for the people that come along and just kind of watch and listen and then, try to fit themselves into the community, you better be practicing seriously. You better be listening seriously. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and you're wasting my time. And it can be insulting as well. And if and the community grows as time goes on, I have no idea if that's going to be the case. I have no idea how many people really join and practice along with this seriously. But if you are doing that, then take some responsibility. Take some responsibility to be a donor, a serious donor, to make a monthly contribution, if that's within your means. I have no idea how serious people take this. Only a few people. Because they reach out to me and they say, hey, how can I donate? How can I support? Or how can I be more supported? Can you help me more? So this is not for the faint of hearted. This isn't for people who are easily offended. This is not for people who want to be a part of something. This is for people who want to give. And you either believe me about this or you don't. But I'm confident in this position, quite confident in this position. Because I've lived in Myanmar, the jungles of Myanmar. I've lived in rural Thailand. I've lived in places where people are going through complete poverty, and I've seen the degrees of generosity that they have to come and volunteer at the meditation center, to come and give building supplies and do construction work, to donate money even though they have very, very little money. So your stinginess, your greediness is not an excuse for a lack of generosity. You don't have to be here. I don't have to be here. I do not have to be doing this. You do not have to be doing this. You do not have to be here. The mind is intimidating. The mind is fucking spooky as all hell. Let's be real about it. So you, whoever you are, need to get your act together. You need to listen seriously. You need to practice seriously when you're here. You need to ask questions seriously when you're here. You are not a child, so you are not permitted to play here, to play around. It's disrespectful and it's inappropriate. One crazy person is enough. One unserious person is enough. One ridiculous persona is enough. So be here as a student, be here as a serious practitioner, be here as a donor. Or don't be here at all. And of course, new people coming in that are curious to listen and are checking this out and trying to get involved with this, that's, of course, they're great. They're welcome to do that. They can take as much time as they want to. But for those people who are making a commitment to be here, as I'm making a commitment to be here, stop fucking around. And make your presence and make your seriousness known. Some people are just letting me know how much of a buffoon they are and how little they value this class and this practice together. These miniature retreats, these 6-hour live sessions, 8-hour, 12-hour live sessions a day. So let's take this seriously, and please let your ego be challenged. And if your ego has anything to say to me, really from the deep down depths, goodness gracious knows I want to hear it. And this is not ableistic in nature. I'm here to support you. I'm here to talk with you about what's brought up. But you got to write things down. You have to concentrate. You have to listen closely so that there's not a need to go over the same things again and again and again with you in particular. But that you're taking out these bits and pieces of the practice and the path and you are installing them into yourself. And you're using this as a time to practice together. Seriously. Or not. Most people in my position charge money for their time and effort. I've seen people who were a monk for 30 days, who attended a one meditation retreat, that are running retreat centers where they charge you hundreds and thousands of dollars to go there for a few days. So please do not diminish me and my time and my effort and my presence. Because in doing that, you're diminishing yourself also, and your own capacity to practice seriously and to understand deeply and to ask real meaningful questions during these times. If you're just sitting there and listening, you're not asking a real meaningful question, you're just hanging out, what are you doing? I've got nothing to lose here, folks. I am not in a precarious position here. Oh. Milad, you're very generous. Too generous. Be careful, Milad. Don't hurt yourself. I appreciate it. All right, back at it. And please, friends, well-minded associates, well-minded supporters, please don't get your ego twisted up when I'm talking to the naughty ones. You know for yourself if you're practicing seriously. You know for yourself if you're offering seriously, etc. Yeah, normal, but not special. Normal and not special. So just stay with it, stay aware of it, stay in that awareness of the mind as that experiencing is taking place. So don't specialize it. And if you have a meditation method, stay with that meditation method. Stay with focusing on the breathing or just the awareness itself. Don't get distracted, don't get confused by that thing, that appearance. It's just an appearance. The real meditation, the deep meditation, is actually in the mind. It's not in the body. So we kind of actually discard our body as we go deeper into meditation. Yeah, because we give a specialness to it, like, oh, my body's raising up, or my body's becoming very small, or these pulsations are happening. So actually, Drifter, it's just a sign. Just see it as a sign, and what you're going deeper into is signlessness, right? Or staying with the awareness. So kind of disregard, ignore the sign. And you can go into very, continuing your meditation that way. And I tend to spoil surprises, but this is a way, and this is a modality to get our hearts and bodies and minds in the game, on the floor, in this. Not just disassociated, sitting and laying on our couch and multitasking and bullshitting and dreaming, but to really, really be here. Yeah, that's a great thought. I want to be generous. I want to give. I want to be in a way that's not just about myself. I want to give more to others than I give to myself. How about that? Mackenzie, I have physiological anxiety, damage. The anxiety is not a bad thing. Just be aware of the anxiety. Anxiety being a bad thing is like a scheme. It's like a marketing scheme for anxiety, for lifelong anxiety. Anxiety is good. If anxiety is anything, anxiety is good. Tuning you in, inviting you in. And anxiety oftentimes is not like terrifying. I know anxiety is anxious and it's not nice, doesn't feel nice, but it's not terror, right? So terror is one of those things where that's really tough to be nice or to be okay with, to be fine with. But that anxiety actually, it's inviting us. We don't have to stop the anxiety. It's an invitation to go inward. It's an invitation to meet our heart. To meet our direct experiencing. Yeah, that's how I got over my anxiety, when I started to listen to it and see it as being more real than the thoughts that were perpetuating anxiety. Oh, what about this? What about that? Boom, boom, boom. What about this? What about that? Boom, boom. No, I actually started to listen to the heart beating. That was inviting me, inviting my awareness. There you go, Richard. Shukiko. So, Sukiko, you should realize, or you should work with the idea that your mind is as much as it's like a reliable tool and important and realistic, your mind is basically just like a bullshit artist. So what I mean by that is to help you alleviate the pressure or the tension of believing in what your mind happens to think up. So when you can do that, you can tune in more closely and deeply to that burning and to that feeling. Because it's that judgment value of that burning being that needs to be resisted or needs to be avoided or needs to be gotten away from, that's keeping you from actually embracing and holding your anger. It's just a kind of energy, just like anxiety is just a kind of energy. And so when you're resisting that energy, you're giving resistance to that energy. You're charging it. You're charging its continuation and the habit energy of it, the habit of resisting it. So when you can turn that around and actually feel the invitation of that burning, that's a wisdom. That's a wisdom to do that, to untangle and to unravel that. Now, for Mackenzie and for Sukiko, how can we preamble that? How can we prepare to do that? Because when it actually happens, it's a little bit difficult. Sit and cross your legs. Sit and fold your legs. This is one of the ways you can do it. There's a lot of the ways that you can do it, but sit and cross your legs. This is probably the most traditional way that I've done it. Keep your knees down, keep your legs down, and sit like this. I want to build community. I want to be in community. I want my job to be serving and supporting community freely. How's that for a job? And for that to be my job, I have to depend on the people who are here to support, to make donations regularly and support. Okay, so you sit cross-legged like this, and you can sit with a cushion, and you can even look up on YouTube like how to sit in meditation. And you sit like that, you sit upright, and then you could be doing that while you're joining in for the Dhamma talk, right, and the practice. Oh, Power Metal, this must be your first session, because that's not how I act like at all. Okay, so you sit cross-legged like this, and you're aware and you're present, and you kind of generally know how to meditate, right, of just breathing and being aware, and maybe focusing on your breath, or the breath coming into your nose, or the breath in your stomach, or just focusing on listening, right? So you're upright, you're aware, and you're listening, and you're experiencing. What's going to start happening is you're going to feel pain in your legs. So when you start to feel that pain in your legs, you can listen to that pain. You can face that pain. You can see how you relate to pain. You can see how you relate to that resistance in general. And this is one of the best ways to cultivate blessings, to endure pain, to endure in general. You're not really doing anything. It's more like you're listening internally to the experience in the body without trying to change it or make it to be a different way or a certain way. People just don't get how hardcore this is. And one way or another, they've got to understand that. They've got to begin to understand that. We're not here just to pump up our numbers. We're here to actually face something very serious and very real and very direct. We're going to try something experimental here.
Well, how are you, sir?
What can I do for you?
Nothing. I was calling you while you were on the live stream. I got booted out of the live stream, but you didn't need to call me back, man.
Oh. Well, you weren't booted out of the live stream. It just was to mute the comments, to end the commenting, because I thought you're getting a little bit distracted engaging with the other people.
I agree. I agree.
You've got to be very, very careful, because we can be easy to not know much about ourselves or to not know as much about what's going on as we think that we do. Should understand that very closely and clearly. We are easy to not understand, to not know as much about ourselves or what's going on as it seems like we do, as we think that we do. So this stopping and stepping back and coming into space and coming into a very practical space is very, very important. The practicality of spaciousness. This is where we get to be under the umbrella of awareness. And people are not able to play their ego games with us and make us a part of their ego games. And sometimes we're lost in our own ego games, which is why the meditation, the contemplation, culling thoughts to the best of our ability, to bring thoughts down to zero and to keep them from arising, is a skill that we want to develop, so that we're not being played around by with other people's egos, and so that we're not being played around by our own ego. Because to the best of your abilities, this is where we get into, well, wait a minute. I'm not being manipulated. Well, wait a minute. I have to take responsibility for my own actions. Well, wait a minute. I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm not really sure what I want to do. When we cull or bring thoughts down to zero, to the best of our abilities that we know that we're not thinking and yet we're aware, and to keep thoughts from arising so that there's a kind of biases bubble that forms. And that pops too, but this foundation, this grounding on and of awareness, period. And that there's no allowance of some person to come in and say, well, wait a minute. There is no wait a minute. Meet my foot. Hello, ass, meet my foot. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. There is no wait a minute. To the best of your abilities, to the best of my abilities, bringing thoughts down to zero and keeping thoughts from arising. Now, whatever you do and however you proceed is your fault. That's why this live stream, and this is not to talk about my problems, my anger, my greed. It's for you to look at yourself. This is just a mirror. Oh, just shut up, Karthik. And this also, one of the joys of this live stream is it gives us this way to actually see what human beings are like. What it's like to deal with all kinds of different people coming in. What's it like to be in an unlimited, open way? My foot's going to be in the mirror, Kai. Usually the Zen masters, when that happens, they grab the nose of the person who's making claims like that. No one's in the mirror, Kai? I'm still a little bit shy, but I'll work up to it. I'm not in a hurry. Our donation box. You can also set up monthly donations through that link. What kind of book are you looking for, Yugo? For the practice of Buddhism or for some kind of conceptual understanding of Buddhism? Right? So this position that I'm sitting in right now, my knees are starting to hurt. My body is starting to hurt. So most of our ego, most of our life, most of our identity is built on seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. Is it not? Fight or flight, or consume, right? Fight or flight or consume. So in feeling and experiencing this pain, not thinking and keeping thoughts from arising. This is right there on the edge of like what the practice is. Now, not everybody can do that, so there are different methodologies, like chanting meditation, like studying the Dhamma, like listening to Dhamma talks, like making merits through making donations, making offerings. Dhamma is truth. I don't understand what that means, Dan. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why don't you introduce yourself, Dan? If you come into a new place and you have something to say, It's like people have forgot that they're human beings. Probably one of the biggest ways for you to break the habit of masturbation is to stay awake and to stay out of bed and to stay involved doing something. So, you know, what could that be? I don't know. But I'm live streaming here, so I'm certainly not going to be masturbating, right? So do something that pushes you outside of your habit energy, your regular schedule. Like I remember when I used to be a younger man, and I would have this schedule when, okay, it's time for me to go to sleep. It's time for me to be in bed. I wasn't sleepy, I wasn't tired, but it was time for me to be in bed. And so then I'd be forced into this spot when I would then, you know, lose myself in masturbation or pornography or whatever. So break your habits. Break your usual system of doing things. Break out of the box of what makes sense to you, what you're used to. If you're not ready to kick your own ego's ass, then bring your ego here and I'll kick your ego's ass. Zen is all about getting your ego's ass kicked. And I will guarantee that my ego has had its ass kicked way more than anybody here. I'll guarantee it. Or your money back. I wish that wasn't the case. It's a little bit lonely. In process, it's a slow ass kicking, Dale. Just be patient, not in a hurry. Yeah, you can turn off the chat. I can turn off the chat too. And anybody can turn off the chat just by closing their eyes. Jen Jones, introduce yourself. What has America become? Even the smallest degree of decorum and politeness and dignity has been lost on Americans. If you come in here and you want to say something, introduce yourself. Say hello. My name is so-and-so. I'm, 34 years old in Wyoming. I'm coming from this background experience, etc. My dad was a truck driver, Dale. No Bible verses allowed. No, it's my knee, it's my bone. Dabber, what are you talking about? You just coming in here and talking nonsense? But you don't really know what's going on, do you, Dabber? You didn't know that I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. Oh, that's nice, mistress. I also like Zen Master books. It just fell off me. It just fell off my shoulders. There was nothing engaging me in Christianity, so, you know. Okay, Dire Wolf, let me know how it goes. Nobody gets a bigger rise out of me than me. You got that? No, I haven't been to Mongolia, but I will maybe go there. I wanted to go there. Yeah, and that's what we learn. We learn to be willing to try to do that, to be alone with ourselves and see ourselves, and then we get to experience that it's actually quite lovely. That you can be very deeply aware and at peace with yourself, or with the Dhamma teachers, Sukiko. I was just, before I did the live stream, I was laying down and I was listening to two of my Dhamma teachers. One was giving a guided meditation live, and the other one was live just doing Zen meditation in silence. And I was laying down on the bed with my phone and my tablet in front of me, next to me, as I was meditating. So you can invite your teacher to be there with you if you open up enough to receive them in that way. Shilling for money. Teaching me how to grift. Maybe I am shilling for money. Maybe it is a grift. I don't know. If it was, does that mean I need to be punished or what? What does it mean if I'm grifting and shilling for money? Are you going to punish me? Are you going to spank me, big boy? Just let it go, Yugo. And why didn't you respond? I said, what kind of Buddhist book are you looking for? Are you multitasking? So if we start daydreaming when we're kind of generally trying to meditate, go and walk. Just walk around or do like some yoga, do some movement, all right? A rhythmic dabber, you know less about the difference between your own head and your own ass than you do than about monasteries. To say what monastery is the most foolish thing I've ever heard in my entire life. What monastery, what teacher? You're just a bullshit artist, through and through, dabber. Disingenuous faker, pretender. If you don't know what you're talking about, just let yourself not know what you're talking about and stop BSing. Raven Bridges, are you a monk? Can you share a little bit about your position? I'm a bad boy. I'm like the bad boy of Zen Buddhism. From one monk to another. Oh, that's good. I'm happy to hear that, Sukiko. Good. Keep it up. Keep going. We don't need socialization, but we need community. We need some kind of support. We can't do things alone. I'd recommend the book No Mud, No Lotus, The Art of Transforming Suffering. No Mud, No Lotus, The Art of Transforming Suffering. Another bullshit artist supporting another bullshit artist. You know what they say? They say, look at the company that you keep. Look at the people who support your idea and your perspective. So, jab knowledge, you really stepped on your friend's foot there. Yeah. You're welcome. No Mud, No Lotus, The Art of Transforming Suffering. But even better is to listen to Dhamma talks, people. If you're here and you're taking this seriously and you don't listen to Dhamma talks, you're out of your gosh darn mind. People don't have any grit these days. They don't have any determination. They don't have any intensity or presence to them. They don't have any consistency to them. They're always being a halfway crook. You have to learn how to be a full-time crook, 100%, all the way in. Yes, that's right. Yeah, all the resources here is free. All of my time and effort and everything here is free. you're just gonna have to listen to what I have to say if you're here. Is that clear? Okay, Jab Knowledge. You got it. You got me. You triggered me, Jab Knowledge. You got me. You got me, Jab Knowledge. Let's all give a round of applause for Jab Knowledge. They defeated me. Oh. Let's get some big W's in the chat for Direwolf. Let's get some big W's in the chat for Direwolf. Raven Bridges. Raven Bridges, huh? Yeah. Well, they call me the bad boy of Zen Buddhism. They call me the American bad boy of Zen Buddhism, so... 18-year Buddhist monk teacher in a certain program. That's my guy. That's my dabber. Lay off the dabs, man. A lot of people are losing their lives smoking weed, and I'd hate to see that happen to you. I'd hate to see you for that to be your life. But I've lived in monasteries all around the world, brother. In South Korea, in Thailand, in Myanmar, in Sri Lanka, in Laos. Yes, I love the coffee. In Nepal and the streets of India. I've stayed at monasteries all over the world. Next time you want to ass kicking, you come back here, Asthmatic. My foot's just waiting for you. W's in the chat, everybody. Let's get some energy going in here. Let's get some energy going in here. Come on, everybody. W's in the chat. We're really going to do it now. And we do have our donation box down here. Wink, wink. Direwolf, I will try to live up to that. Even though I know that maybe I won't, but I will try to live up to that. New Gen, third wave, fourth wave Zen Buddhism. Let's get some W's in the chat for fourth wave Zen Buddhism. Oh, that sounds great, brother. I hope you get a good chunk of change for that. You'll get the back pay too, so you should be set up. And yeah, take care. Go slow. There's a group. There's a community in. Oh, it's in Seattle, so a little bit far away from you. It is the rain on your face when the moon sings a song from Mongolia. Yeah. I'm still in Malaysia, but I won't be for long. Yeah, I visited in Sri Lanka. I can, Dan. Would you like to make an offering? Would you like to make a donation for the blessing? You can get a good blessing. You donate a lot, you get a good, very good blessing. Ooh. Okay, tomorrow it is. Although tomorrow never comes, everybody, try to remember, tomorrow never comes. The rain, it falls on the top of this box here. The rain, it falls in my heart. The rain, it falls in my heart. The wind, it blows. Okay, take care, direwolf. It blows right through the screen. The wind, it blows in my heart. Don't just stand there, everybody. Put some W's in the Me too. I'm kind of influenced by Dahui, so it's kind of a Dahui. No, you don't even not Dahui. Pahuaha, Puhuaha, and Ikyu, and because there's a lot of influence here that changed very quickly when we got the technology. Now is a great time to donate, by the way. Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Then you don't know Zen, mistress. Yeah, Hannah, we can talk about that. How old are you, and what's your sickness? What's going on? Just a little bit of information about it. I know more about this than most monks. Some of the high-level teaching about this, so I'm happy to share it with you. How well can you all hear me with the rain coming in like this? Can you hear me? Hannah, it's maybe something that it would be better to have a call about it. Do you want to call me on WhatsApp and I can talk you through this? Oh, it looks like Hannah might be in the past. So Hannah, I'm gonna put my WhatsApp number on the screen. I'm gonna put my WhatsApp number on the screen, Hannah. And I'd love to talk with you about this. Come. Come here, come in here. Sure. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. Jump up here, come on. Come on up here. It's too rainy out there, come on. Right here, come. Come up here. Come. Cha. Come here. This poor baby. Follow me outside because, but it's a dog. You have to know how to let things be. You can't just get lost in, whoa, the dog, help the dog. The dog's gonna die. Everybody here is gonna die. It's a big dog, can't pick it up. So Hannah, you can call me on WhatsApp when you're ready. This is a good information to get out there to you. It's a little bit rainy, but we'll make do. Well, I'm not Eric. I'm your spiritual teacher. So, or I'm not Eric, I'm the meditation master. So the annoyance is concerned with mindfulness and detachment. Thank you, Melissa. So let's get somebody new to call in and say hello and introduce yourself. You can call through WhatsApp. Do y'all want to hear my kindergarten graduation song? And this, Miss M actually inspired this song to come up in me. This is my kindergarten or first, I must have been kindergarten graduation. Celebration. Woo! This is your celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on, let's celebrate. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Well, someone's calling in. Somebody's disturbing the celebration. Hello? Who's this? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? What's your username on the YouTube? What's your username on the YouTube? Oh, I don't think I've seen you commenting on there. Okay, all right, but you're a real person, so tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do? How old are you? That kind of stuff. Wait a minute, hold on. What did you say?
What was your first question?
What work do you do?
I'm an expediter.
An expediter. What do you expedite? Danger?
Oh, pardon?
What do you expedite?
Oh, a lot of goods and services for different organizations throughout the States and the world, mostly. On the land keep.
Okay. And so what are you doing here?
No, I actually saw you from Matan.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It was one of his lives, and
Yeah.
I like how you kept your composure. It's kind of funny how he puts people on there, and it's usually a joke, but you kept your cool. And I seen you smiling the whole time. You wanted to laugh, I know, but you were cool about it, so that's kind of neat.
Well, I was a Buddhist monk during that time.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Are you still?
No, I'm not a Buddhist monk anymore. You know, now I'm just like a YouTuber, and teaching meditation and you know, live through donations.
Nice, man. What part of the country are you in?
Oh, I don't live in America. I'm not a big American fan.
Yeah, it's a different life for sure.
Uh-huh.
Me and Nick keep our camp tomorrow, so I don't really
What?
get down with the. I'm the same. I'm in the same boat. It's a different life now. It's completely different from when I grew up.
Oh. Okay. Well,
All the Lanfkeen stuff.
you called in, and you're welcome to come by anytime, and you can
What
make
do you like to,
you can make a
what makes you move
donation.
away
You can
from,
show your support.
being a Buddhist? What
What?
makes you transition away from that?
Oh, I'm still a Buddhist.
Oh, really? You've been in the Kimono from originally?
What?
Is it Kimono from? Is there a reason why you're not a Buddhist monk?
Because I stopped being a Buddhist monk.
Oh, was there reasons?
Together. Well, you've taken my time, so please consider to make a sizable donation, and I wish you the best in your life, friend.
Awesome, man. Thank you for the locker room. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, see you next time. Come on! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on, let's celebrate. Come on, everybody. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gonna celebrate and party with you. Come on now, celebration. Come on, celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world. Come on. Yeah, woo, woo, woo. Yo, yeah, yeah, yo. So, to dare to be annoyed, I think is important. We have to be willing to be annoyed. We have to be willing to experience annoyance. To be willing to be responsible for our own actions. So to be responsible for your own body, to be responsible for your own mind, to be responsible for your own mental, physical, and verbal actions, and to see that responsibility up until now has not been particularly oriented towards generosity. And that our lives and the neglect or the abuse that we suffered growing up is largely due to people's, parents, societies, communities that were largely not oriented towards generosity. That didn't value generosity as much as they valued greed. When you can start to digest the poison of generosity, then you are in a workable situation to actually start looking at the Dhamma, to start looking at the Buddhism and meditation. And some of the people here are not in a position to donate. So setting an example for them as well is very important, because they're actually coming in here and practicing and doing their best. Or that's what I imagine, at least. And for me and for my personality, and for you and your personality, let it be space. Let it be empty. Let's cultivate unconditional reverence. Or non-conditional. I think non-conditional is a better word for it. Non-conditional reverence.
Oh well, and the goodness can arise because you have 5 types of afflictions that cover up your goodness. Okay, what are the 5? Greed and desire. Okay, greed and desire, meaning you have the 5 desires. Okay, and the problem with 5 desires, what are the 5 desires? Anyone remembers? Food, fame, what else? Sleep, very good. And what else?
Wealth, money,
Wealth, very good. And what else? The last one. Last one that I don't know. I can't think of what the 5th one could be. Oh, sex. I almost forgot. Okay, food, fame, sleep, sex, and wealth. See the problem? You want to open the heavenly eye so that you can see the super lotto, but guess what? You're greedy for money, therefore you won't be able to open it. see the dilemma? Huh? This is a story of my life. I'm doing it for you, okay? But I want more money, and because I want more money to do it for you. I cannot see the super lotto numbers. So we need a real pure person. Master Z, you ate right? Master Z will sacrifice everything. Okay? Truly pure. No fame, no food. That's not going to help. Sex, sleep. We know that he doesn't sleep anymore. That's easy already. The sex, hopefully you'll keep it up. And you have to sign a contract. If you win Super Lotto, it goes to me. See that? This is a problem. We are full desires. That's why we have coverings of greed and desires. Okay? That's why now you understand why Master Shehuan says, I wish you opened your heavenly eye, because it shows that you are quite pure. Okay? Number 2, what kind of covering are we talking about? Anger. Isn't it interesting? When you have anger, you are covering your goodness. You drown in your own afflictions. Okay? And yet, my Republican disciples in Go Force, they're so angry at Democrats. Okay? Whenever I go up there, I talked about my president. The first thing I said, no, I disagree. I said, this guy is a bad dude. No, I disagree. Putin must have something on him. No, I disagree. I couldn't even finish my sentence. Okay? And they come to lunch every day to make sure to remind me of that. Okay? So much anger. Yeah. Okay? You waiting. So you're angry because things don't happen the way you want. That's why you're angry. They only want to hear praises only on my president. Okay? Down here, I don't praise him as much. So far, so good? Okay. Third one, sloth and torpor. Okay? Meaning a sleepiness. Okay? You feel sleepy, that's a covering. That's why when you meditate, you feel sleepy, you're dozing off. This is when you remember, oops, I'm under covering. Therefore, you fight and fight and fight. Don't say, Okay, no one is watching. Everyone is sleeping. What's the harm?
Okay, so what we're talking about here is that there's 5 coverings to our Dhamma eye or our wisdom eye. 5 coverings of awareness. Okay, of our true, clear, pure awareness, seeing things as they are. 5 coverings. Is that clear? You hear that? You hear what I just said? So, because of these 5 coverings, goodness or clarity or wisdom cannot arise. Blessings also cannot arise. Because of these coverings, it's like you have a covering over the field of your mind. And so because that covering is there, you can't plant blessings. You can't do good deeds. You can't renounce. You can't donate. You can't listen to the Dhamma. You can't go for a walk and relax and release your body and mind. Because these coverings, this covering is there on top of your mind. So, greed and desire, he talked about those 5 kinds: lust, wealth, fame. What were the other two? Lust, wealth, fame. Food and sleep. 5 coverings. Sleepiness. Well, the desire for that, the greed and desire. So notice when you are, and this gets into very subtlety, right? Because wait a minute, if I'm greedy for going to sleep, isn't that good? No, it's not. The desire to go to sleep is a covering over your wakefulness. If you had to go to sleep all the time, how would you be able to work your job and make money and take care of yourself if you were constantly tired? So not to go into too many specifics, but greed and desire, being overly greedy, overly stingy, overly desiring, and also aggrandizing or making light of desire. So don't desire anything. Don't desire anything. Practice to not desire anything. And it's really interesting here because your afflictions are your problems. My afflictions are my problems. There's nothing interpersonal going on here. What about you? What about I shove my foot right up that ass and get you out of here? There's nothing interpersonal about this. So greed and desire. Number 2 is anger. So that frustration, right? That frustration and that anger and that hatred covers up our mind so that we can't do good deeds. We can't practice generosity. We can't listen more deeply. We can't allow because we're so frustrated and conflicted. Number 3 is a sloth and torpor. It means you're lazy and sleepy. And that's something that a lot of people here on YouTube Shorts and who come and join in have, right? They're kind of laid back and disassociated. They're drunk on their sleepiness. So their minds are covered up. So goodness cannot arise. They can't see what's right in front of them. Restlessness. It means you feel like you have to do something. You want to do something. You need to do something. You're not able to just be at peace where you are. You need to do something. You're restless. You can't settle. This is another covering that keeps goodness from arising. Big one is doubt. Not being able to decide. When you are locked in doubt, you are excluded from trial and error. And you're also excluded from having a relationship with a teacher. So doubt is a big no-no in terms of working to allow goodness to arise and working to allow cultivation on the path. You have to relax doubt. It means you can't decide. You're always wiffle-waffling. You're always in the past, in the future, thinking about, deciding about. Just do it. See what happens. To listen, to practice, to give, to detach, to put forth more effort, to go to that meditation retreat, whatever it might be for you.
Anyone who doesn't have these 5 coverings, it's worse for some people than others. Okay, or certain things. For example, Mama here, who was first stage Arhat, I like to brag about it. Oh, settle down. It's old news now. Okay, what's her problem? Ask the woman. Maybe we'll volunteer to open the eye. She's good enough to open the heavenly eye and see the super lotto, I assure you. Okay? Explain to her, would you like to volunteer to open the eye? But before you volunteer, now you need to take care of the 5 coverings. Greed and desire, okay, woman? Okay? No anger. Okay, anger is good. She can work with Xiantung, therefore cannot be angry. If you get abused, she didn't get it.
Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. So what's next? Do we have any questions? Do we have any call-ins? Any pending offerings or donations or complaints? I haven't gotten a good complaint in quite a long time, so maybe some of you can try to build up to that, to giving me a good complaint. Hello? Anybody out there? Comments, questions, complaints, sharing experience? Okay, Janelle, throw that in the trash, the same place you found it. Or I should say, flush it down the toilet. Am I all alone in this world? It's just lunatics left. It's me and a bunch of lunatics. Well, I think I was kind of asking for that, wasn't I? People who are always criticizing others are at quite a low level themselves. That's why they act that way. No such thing as an average person. Janelle, the truth is that those people have a lot to learn from people like me. But they're too egoic, they're too greedy, they're too self-invested to consider about taking approaches that aren't based in the status quo. Miss M tried to spend more time in no time. So when you do have that that freedom of time, just lay down and go into the mind. Relax the body, release the body, and go into the mind. There's a real problem with, there's some things that you're not allowed to say, but it's true. There's a lot of dangerous, gay men in the world. And, marching in the streets with dildos strapped to your head, or a sex parade is not a good idea. I don't care if you're gay or straight or what you are. We shouldn't be parading for lust. Well, that's the joy of not arguing. Don't argue about anything. Listen without attachment. See without attachment. Hear without attachment. Breathe without attachment. Monk life, where is your humility? You have set yourself up like a hipster, using the world's systems rather than forsaking the world and devoting yourself to the Father in heaven. If you live of the world and claim to live without it, you have showed yourself to be a liar, and your father is the devil, the first liar. It's beautiful. Well, I've done my best, I've done my worst. I've found myself in a hearse, condemned and damned. Hopeless and aware. Ordinary awareness is a powerful psychedelic. We'll talk about killing the Buddha. Is this peaceful? It means that we can't get stuck in the duality. Oh, this is my teacher. Oh, they're so high. They are your teacher, but they are empty. That's why they are your teacher, because you can see the emptiness in them. So if you see the Buddha, if you get caught up in this idea and this belief about somebody being so wonderful and enlightened, etc., you have to remember the emptiness. You have to kill their image so you can actually see who they are, which is empty. If you can see well enough, you will see their emptiness. to bring thoughts down to zero. Not complicated, not confusing. Following the breath, focusing on the breath. Feeling the breath come in through the nose. Bringing thoughts back down to zero. And instead of allowing thoughts to keep thinking, just keep thoughts at zero. Keep the focus on the breathing. Keep the focus on the awareness. The awareness that is not about anything. The mind is like a computer full of digital files. Where are the files? Are they in the computer? Are they in the brain? Come back to awareness of the breathing coming in through the nose. Be with awareness. Be as awareness. Let the bubble of history pop. Let the bubble of yourself pop. Let the bubble of the world pop. For free. Allow everything and everyone inside and out to pop, to finish, to be resolved, to be forgiven. Don't believe anything. Don't believe any story. about anyone, most of all about yourself. Don't believe any story. Recognizing awareness, realizing awareness, remembering awareness deeply. You can set up all these methods and ways to defeat someone else, to beat on their house, to tear it down. But it's unnecessary from the start. This body, this mind, home, here and now, in the ultimate. Dwell, be, arrive, home. So we're going to bring our live session together here to an end. I'd like to offer all of you a deep bow. Thank you for being here. For those that donated, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Let's finish with a short prayer. You can listen to the first part, and then the second part we can do together. Sapitiyo vivachantu saparoko vinasatu mape pavadana silicha ayuvano sukhang bharam. You can repeat after me. May the wishes of the donors be fulfilled. May the wishes of the donors be fulfilled. May the wishes of the donors be fulfilled. May I be happy and safe. May you be happy and safe. May all beings everywhere be happy and safe. May it be, may it be, may it truly, truly, truly be. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. Your presence itself is certainly a kind of generosity. If you ever need to reach out, you can see my WhatsApp number here in the comments. Thank you, Sammy, and congratulations, that one dude. No measuring, no comparing, just arriving at home. Bye, everyone. See you again soon.